Was the Rebbe a prophet? You better believe he was a prophet. So what is it that he said Mashiach is coming and he's on his way? And there were all kinds of hints that the Rebbe believed it was himself. I'll leave it for the next video. In one of the famous letters of Maimonides, Maimonides relates about a messianic figure in what I believe is Montmartre, where there was a person who was a prophet and would tell people events that would take place, and everything he said was accurate. And then he began prophesying about the coming of Messiah, Mashiach, and people listened to him, and the Mashiach did not come. Out of embarrassment, he moved elsewhere. And where he moved, whatever he said came true. And he died in exile. Maimonides is not critical of this quote-unquote prophet. Why did it happen to this prophet that he prophesied things over and over again, and they came true? And the prophecy for the coming of Mashiach did not come true. Did it mean that Mashiach didn't come? Did it mean that he wasn't a prophet? So I'll share something with you. I believe that in the generation of Maimonides, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon was designated to be the Mashiach. All of the writings of Maimonides seem to indicate a personal development and a goal that seems consistent with the eventual development of a messianic character. Maimonides was from the house of David. Maimonides had great influence, not just on the Jewish community, but on the communities at large. Maimonides' influence was to Jews in North Africa and Yemen, and through his writings all over the world. And so, it is my belief that this prophet was seeing Maimonides emerge as the Messiah. Why did it not happen? For a myriad of reasons. The least of which could be that we were not ready to receive Maimonides. Maimonides had many enemies who attacked him as a heretic, who attacked his ideas as being non-Torah ideas. Maimonides' own books were burnt after he died in Paris. Because the world wasn't ready, Maimonides could not be the Messiah for that generation. The prophet saw Maimonides and was predicting Maimonides' arrival. But unfortunately the world couldn't see that. The Torah world couldn't see that, couldn't accept that. In our generation, the Rebbe was the one closest to being the Messiah. If not him, his father-in-law. The Rebbe saw this clearly, that this was possible and could happen if everyone would take a moment and examine the Rebbe's words and understand what we're dealing with. They were dealing with not just a great scholar, not just a great righteous man, but a descendant of King David, who could lead us to the promised land if we would be so predisposed. But I'll tell you the truth, I wasn't ready, and neither were you. And so, was this a false prophecy? The answer is no. The prophecy was true. But we have to be willing to accept the prophecy. We have to be willing to truly understand that there is someone who is ready to be the Mashiach at any moment. We were not ready to accept that. I mean, theoretically, we're ready. But what is Mashiach going to look like? In some Hasidic cries, the Mashiach will have to wear white stockings, and others will have to wear knickers and black stockings. Will he wear a super, or will he wear a Yerushalmi hat? Will he have a shtreimel or a spudik? What kind of a zhupitzer will he have? Among the Litvaks, will he be able to answer all of the questions we have in Rambam to our satisfaction? Will he have learnt his Slabodka Aponovich? Did he go to Lakewood? Was he a brisker? These will be questions people ask. And if they don't find it to their satisfactions, they won't accept it. The same thing is true with the Edot HaMizrach. Each group has its own set of qualifiers. Without truly evaluating and understanding what exactly is the Mashiach, what are the qualifications for Mashiach, and how would we get behind the Mashiach? Perhaps a Mashiach will come from the ranks of the soldiers. Perhaps he will come from those communities that have been abused in Israel. Perhaps he will be some heretofore unknown from Jerusalem, or maybe someone living in Brooklyn, or Los Angeles, or Brisbane, Australia. Mashiach will come. The reason why the prophecy was not fulfilled had nothing to do with the prophecy. The prophecy is Mashiach is ready to come. The problem was we weren't ready to accept it, just as in the times of Maimonides, the world thought of Maimonides as a heretic. How sad.